Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to interview for superintendent of your school district. I wish to talk with you about my educational philosophies. We all have that moment in life when we realize our purpose and potential to change the world. I remember the day I realized my purpose. I wanted to improve the world through teaching. I was 9. I went with my mother to work, an elementary school teacher, to help her prepare her room for those minds that would soon soak up her instruction, inspiration, and compassion for learning. I remember the smell of the crayons in her classroom and the green chalkboard at the front of the room. Most of all, I remember how much my mother loved her students and how much she had an interest in their lives. She talked about them all the time. One student in particular, little Johnny, had a problem staying on task in class. Johnny was the school's hot potato child. He was bad. You take him this year because I had him last year, the teachers would say. The teachers would actually barter. Who would get Johnny? My mother volunteered to take Johnny into her classroom. Where others saw a hopeless child, she saw the butterfly in him struggling to break free of its cocoon, a miracle waiting to change the world one day. Johnny is now a Raleigh lawyer. My mother always believed in him. Johnny has never forgotten how she pushed him to succeed. She died in 2008. When she died, she took with her her kind spirit, her love for teaching, and a life dedicated to molding students to achieve their dreams. What she left to me was clear vision that sees children not for just who they are, but also who they can become. What I've inherited from an elementary school teacher is that the Johnnies of the world don't mold easily as clay, but they are forged under the conditions that leave some teachers frustrated and searching to find the value in placing so much time and energy into one child. Johnny did not leave the negative influences of a crime-infested neighborhood because his own goals or his own vision, but because my mother took his hand and mentored him, supported him, and set high expectations for him until he learned to establish his own goals. My mother was the early engine for Johnny's upward mobility. The Johnnies and every other student in our care need teachers that work to find teaching practices that help them become successful. On that day with my mother, I left her classroom wanting to leave a very big world in a better state than how I found it. Where do I focus my energies to make this change? The answer, I will focus on each level of the educational process, from the classroom to the decisions made in the superintendent's office. Now, what do I do? What do I focus on? The focus will be increasing the number of students that graduate from high school with their cohort. To say it is to utter but a few words, but to achieve it requires the forward motion of a school district at every level. Independent studies indicate that more than 3 of every 10 students in public high school failed to graduate with a regular diploma from the 1960s to the 1990s. Swanson shared this with us in 2003. President Obama has acknowledged that the educational investment is a key strategy for strengthening the economy. Our students' graduation is important to this country. To improve the graduation rate in the school district, to increase the number of lives that will be able to obtain jobs, to live a quality of life that any one of us would feel comfortable living, to have quality replacements when we retire from the workforce, it will take all of us supporting our children. The lack of students graduating impacts each one of us. It impacts the safety of our community, our economy, and the pride of a country. The U.S., according to Pearson, has a cognitive skills level and educational attainment score of .39, which makes the United States rank 14th out of 40 countries in that same category. The U.S. ranks 24th in literacy and 11th in math at the 4th grade level, while ranking 34th with respects to progress in mathematics. Every time we fail legitimately to graduate a child, we are doing more than missing an opportunity to watch a child walk across the stage on graduation day. Every time we fail a child, we fail a community. We fail our country. We fail a family that sent their child to us in trust. We can do more. It is known that if we provide a network of support for our students, we can help them cope with emotional barriers that prevent them from performing up to their potential academically. The network that our children will benefit from will start from the superintendent's office and trickle down to the teacher in the classroom. At each level, employees will look at what they are doing to educate our children and see if their practices meets the needs of our students. The village that educates our children will have effective communication between levels of operation, both vertically and horizontally. With district-wide transparency, each level will know about the other projects and accountings, each initiative, so we can build support to move our district in the same direction, avoiding duplicated and conflicting efforts. Without saying, we will place our students first. Teachers need resources and support in the classroom. It is in the classroom that learning and teaching occurs, and to the best of our physical and financial ability, we will do what we can to provide our students with the best instruction possible. The first goal for this district is that 95% of the 2019 cohort and 95% of each cohort after that will graduate from high school on time. Following 2025, 98% of each cohort will graduate on time. My mother worked in a time before students had IEPs, as we know them to be today, but she provided the same sort of accommodations for which each of her students that you will see in today's IEPs. She cared, she assessed, and she found ways to help her students be successful. She reached out to the parents of her students for help. She was aware that the parents may or may not have been able to help with the content, but they could hold students accountable for study time, and they play an important role in student learning. Parent involvement is an old practice that still has value in today's educational system. Our parents can expect for us to reach out to them and include them in their child's educational process. Mom did not have to worry about test scores as much as we do today. I'm not worried about test scores either. I'm worried about curriculum, rigor, student learning, student programs, and the quality of education that our children receive. If we do our jobs in the classroom, within the schools, and in the central office, we will see our work play out in a positive way in our test scores. As superintendent, I look forward to visiting the school within the districts. As I talk with students, teachers, and administrators, I will be listening to what our district needs. Open communication is the best method for discovering ideas that will benefit students. Schools doing well will be featured for others to learn from. Schools that need extra assistance to meet state and local benchmarks will be the recipients of a wealth of support. We all have a job to do, and since time waits for no man or school system, we have to get what we do right the first time as much as possible. We have to operate with efficiency and purpose. Purpose will drive us, data will lead us. As a district, we will do what has to be done, whether by conventional means or innovative practices that define our school system. Our students will have a bright future. What we do for them now will determine what they do for us in the future. Thank you, and I hope that I am your selection for the next superintendent.